Imagine a scream. Not a scream heard in the dead of night, but a silent cry for help, echoing in the bright, unforgiving light of day. A torment endured openly, witnessed by many, yet met with chilling indifference. Today, Dark Truth Files delves into the horrifying true story of Emily Thorne, a young woman from a seemingly perfect suburban town in New England, USA, who was tortured in broad daylight and nobody helped. This isn't just a tale of cruelty. It's a terrifying tutorial on the bystander effect, the insidious nature of social apathy, and the profound cost of silence when a soul cries out for salvation. Introduction: The Perfect Town. The hidden darkness. Our story takes place in Willow Creek, a quaint, picturesque town in Massachusetts, known for its pristine lawns, friendly neighbors, and strong community spirit. It was the kind of place where people left their doors unlocked and knew everyone's name. But beneath the veneer of suburban idyllic life, a darker truth festered, waiting to claim its next victim. The protagonist and her plight. Emily Thorne, a bright, sensitive 16-year-old high school student. She was quiet but kind, a talented artist, and always tried to see the best in people. She was not a troublemaker, just an ordinary teenager navigating the complexities of high school life. The accident? It began subtly. A seemingly accidental tripping incident in the school hallway, causing Emily to spill her lunch. A few Snickers, then a misplaced art project that ended up in the trash. These were dismissed as typical teenage antics, isolated incidents. The escalation. But these weren't isolated. They were orchestrated by a small, influential group of popular students, led by the charismatic yet cruel Jessica Vance. Jessica saw Emily's quiet nature as weakness, and her artistic talent as a threat. What started as pranks escalated into a systematic campaign of public humiliation and psychological torment. This was not physical violence in the shadows. This was a slow, public crucifixion of a spirit, tortured in broad daylight, while the entire community watched or pretended not to. Lesson 1. The Seeds of Indifference. How a community becomes blind. The torture of Emily Thorne wasn't just about the bullies. It was about the insidious spread of indifference. A tutorial on how good people in a supposedly good community can become complicit through silence. Step 1. The jokes and pranks. Public humiliation. Jessica's group began targeting Emily daily. They'd trip her in crowded hallways during lunch, ensuring maximum witnesses. They'd replace her art supplies with broken ones right before class presentations. They'd spread humiliating rumors online, creating fake profiles to mock her. Oh, the laugh track? The key was the audience. Other students not directly involved would laugh, they'd snicker. They'd record it on their phones, sharing it. This laughter, this passive participation, fueled the bullies and isolated Emily further. It normalized the cruelty. Tutorial point. The normalization effect. When seemingly harmless jokes go unaddressed, they slowly become acceptable, paving the way for worse behavior. Silence can be interpreted as approval. "It's just kids being kids" excuse. When teachers or school staff were approached, they'd often dismiss it as teenage drama or kids being kids. They preferred not to get involved, fearing accusations of overreaction or administrative headaches. Step 2. The bystander effect. The visible suffering. Emily's suffering was evident. She grew withdrawn, her grades plummeted, her vibrant artistic spirit dimmed. She often ate lunch alone, her eyes downcast. Her torment wasn't hidden. It was on display in the cafeteria, the hallways, the schoolyard, the silence of the crowd. Dozens, even hundreds, witnessed these daily incidents. Other students, teachers, parents, volunteering at school events. Yet, almost no one intervened. They looked away, they pretended not to see. They hurried past. Tutorial point. Diffusion of responsibility. When many people witness an event, each individual feels less responsible to act because they assume someone else will. Somebody else will do something, becomes nobody did anything. Fear of retaliation. Some students feared becoming targets themselves if they helped. Emily, teachers worried about parental complaints or administrative pressure. The social cost of intervention felt too high for most. Emily's world was shrinking. Her phone was flooded with anonymous, hateful messages. Her locker vandalized. Her art projects defaced. She tried to tell her parents, but they, too, initially dismissed it as girl drama or toughing it out. The broad daylight didn't illuminate her suffering. It highlighted the chilling indifference of those around her. How does a person survive when their cry for help is met with a deafening silence from an entire community, turning their daily life into a public spectacle of psychological torture? Lesson 2. The escalation of torment. The art of breaking a spirit as the community's silence grew louder. Jessica's group escalated their tactics. The torture became more sophisticated, more targeted, aiming to completely dismantle Emily's self-worth and push her to the brink. Step 1. Public shaming and ostracization. The online campaign, Jessica's group launched a full-scale online smear campaign. They doctored photos, spread fabricated stories of Emily being a thief or cheat, turning her into a pariah. Her social media was bombarded with hate. This digital torment followed her home. Physical isolation. In school, a new rule emerged: no talking to Emily. Students who tried were ostracized themselves. Emily found herself eating alone, walking alone, studying alone. Teachers, aware of the social dynamics, often separated her from group projects, further isolating her. The invisible punishment. The torture wasn't about punches. It was about the crushing weight of invisibility. Being seen, yet ignored. Being present, yet treated as if she didn't exist, or worse, as a contaminant. This daily social execution was designed to annihilate her sense of belonging and self-worth. Step 2. The adult's complicity. School administration's apathy. Emily's parents finally went to the school principal. Armed with screenshots and Emily's tearful testimony, the principal promised to investigate. But investigations dragged on, yielded insufficient evidence, or resulted in mere warnings that had no real impact. The school prioritized its perfect image over protecting a student. Tutorial point: systemic apathy. Institutions driven by reputation can fail to act even when presented with clear evidence, becoming silent enablers of abuse. Community silence. Word spread throughout Willow Creek, but instead of outrage, there was a quiet discomfort. Parents, fearing their own children might be targeted by Jessica's influential family, or simply preferring not to get involved, remained silent. Neighbors saw Emily's suffering, but looked away, hoping it would simply disappear. The psychological trap. Emily felt betrayed, not just by her peers, but by the adults, by the very system that was supposed to protect her. This added another layer to her psychological torment, making her feel truly alone in the world. Emily's world had become a living hell. Every day was a public performance of her suffering, witnessed by hundreds, acknowledged by none. She retreated into herself, her once bright eyes now dull and lifeless. She felt completely invisible, tortured in plain sight, with nobody helping. What happens when a child's spirit, battered by relentless cruelty and absolute indifference, reaches its breaking point, and the will to survive begins to falter? The true horror wasn't just what they did to her, but what the world didn't do. Lesson 3. The breaking point and the unforeseen catalyst. Every ordeal has a breaking point. For Emily, it was a moment of profound despair, which, ironically, became the unforeseen catalyst for a shocking turn of events. Step 1. The final humiliation. The prom night incident. It was the end of the school year. Prom night. Emily, despite her parents' encouragement, didn't want to go, but her mother insisted. Jessica's group saw it as a final opportunity. As Emily walked onto the dance floor, dressed simply, the music suddenly cut out. A pre-recorded, distorted audio clip of Emily crying and begging was played over the loudspeakers, followed by mocking laughter from Jessica's group. The public freeze. The entire gymnasium froze. Dozens of students, teachers, chaperones. They all watched. Some gasped. Many looked uncomfortable, but no one moved. No one stopped it. The music remained off. Emily stood there, exposed, utterly humiliated, in broad daylight, under 1,000 silent gazes. The collapse. This was her breaking point. She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She simply collapsed, not physically, but spiritually. Her eyes empty, she lay there, while the silent crowd watched. Step 2. The unexpected witness. The new student. What no one knew was that a new student, Sarah's cousin, who had just moved to Willow Creek that week, was watching. Unlike the others, she had no history with Jessica, no fear of social retaliation. She saw the pure, unadulterated cruelty and the chilling inaction of the crowd. The outburst, driven by a visceral sense of injustice. This new student, Liam, a quiet, observant boy, couldn't stand it. He walked to the stage, snatched the microphone, and his voice, though trembling, boomed across the silent hall. "What are you all doing? She's a human being. Why is nobody helping her?" The shockwave. His words, amplified, shattered the silence. Faces in the crowd shifted from passive discomfort to genuine shame. The spell of indifference was broken, just for a moment. A single voice, trembling but defiant, cut through the deafening silence of indifference. Liam's unexpected outburst wasn't a physical intervention, but it was a moral one, a challenge to the entire community's complicity. But could one voice, one moment of courage, truly reverse years of systematic psychological torture and apathy? Or was it too late for Emily Thorne, whose spirit had already been broken in plain sight, with nobody helping? Lesson 4. The ripple effect. When silence breaks. Liam's courage created a small ripple, which slowly, agonizingly, began to turn into a wave. This phase is a tutorial on how individual action, even small, can challenge widespread apathy. Step 1. The aftermath and the scrutiny media attention. Liam's outburst went viral. Someone had filmed the prom incident and Liam's challenge, posting it online. Within hours, national news outlets picked up the story. Willow Creek, the perfect town, was exposed for its chilling apathy. Community backlash. The public outcry was immense. The school administration was put under intense scrutiny. Parents were shamed. Jessica Vance and her group faced immediate disciplinary action, expulsions, and legal repercussions from Emily's family, now empowered by public support. The Why Nobody Helped debate. The incident sparked national conversations about the bystander effect, bullying, and systemic failures in schools and communities across the USA. Emily's story became a stark case study. Step 2. The long road to healing. Emily's recovery. Emily received professional help, therapy, and unwavering support from her now fully engaged parents. She transferred schools, leaving Willow Creek behind. But the psychological scars of being tortured in broad daylight, and the deep wound of being abandoned by so many, would remain. The town's reckoning. Willow Creek struggled with its image. The incident forced a painful self-reflection, leading to community programs, anti-bullying initiatives, and a renewed, albeit fragile, commitment to vigilance. Liam's quiet impact. Liam, the new student, quietly became a hero. His single act of courage had shattered a pervasive silence, changing not just Emily's life, but potentially the consciousness of an entire community. Emily Thorne survived unthinkable psychological torture, endured in broad daylight with the chilling reality that nobody helped. Her story is a raw, unflinching tutorial on the devastating power of collective indifference and the profound resilience of the human spirit. She reclaimed her life, but the memory of those silent gazes, the laughter, the dismissals, would forever linger. In a world constantly bathed in the glare of screens and public spaces, are we truly seeing the suffering around us? Or are we still, unwittingly, allowing someone to be tortured in broad daylight with nobody helping? For more chilling insights into true stories of social justice, psychological horror, and the dark truths hidden in plain sight, make sure to subscribe to Dark Truth Files.